Hi everyone, I am Tara and I'd like to welcome you all back to my channel. I was just a couple minutes ago. I'm back because I sort of had to cut it a little short because I was about to get an interruption. Now, this here, what I'm going to talk about is how I see history repeating itself by like kind of observing and really thinking about it. Okay. Now I've told someone and I got really irate last night uh with this person because like it's not a matter of you got to think my way or you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. It's like, well, you just keep doing what you're doing, but kind of have an open mind to that maybe things aren't always as they seem. Because I've heard a lot of people tell me that, okay, we are in an illusion. We are watching smokes and cameras and green screens. Which, do I believe it? Yes, I do. Okay, because okay, now I'm gonna say about the pandemic. Okay, now with regards to the pandemic, okay, think of back in World War I. Okay, do you like researching? Go back to World War I. Just after World War I, there was a pandemic. It was called the Spanish flu. Okay. Same thing happened, only it only lasted for 1 year. Okay. But there was a lot of information that come out. And there was, like I said before, 50 to 100 million people died at that time. And there was no air travel or anything like that for that matter. And there wasn't really any vehicles. It's horse and buggy or Shanks's mare. Shanks's mare meaning one's own legs. Okay. Now, okay, the pandemic just after World War I. And it was said that it came from the military. Okay. Now, when you look at World War II, okay, was there a pandemic? No, but a lot of not that I'm aware of, but there was bio warfare, and things like that being used. Okay, but it was the war, and you all know what happened in that war. Okay, now think of now. Okay, we have the pandemic. Okay, and we have the biowarfare. Okay, a lot of people have beliefs of what this is. Okay, I'm right here because I know that things are happening and truth is coming out. And this is why we're at each other's throats. Okay, it's a thing of, well, you need to believe my way. I don't have to believe yours. You're this, you're that. I had somebody tell me yesterday because I told them that I can manipulate a compass on my tablet. I put a copper bracelet on. I actually have I have the video on here. I put the copper bracelet on and I can manipulate it with energy. Okay, because you have energy that comes through. Okay, and this is how Jesus Christ was healing people. Okay, now this person told me, well, that's satanic. Somebody told them that was satanic. They go to church and they say they've repented their sins. Okay, how did you repent? Did you go within? Do you know what you're repenting? What are your sins? Or are you just saying it? It's a matter of we need to learn from our mistakes. It's learning lessons. And I have to say I don't so much regret what I've done because it was the path I chose. But I've learned from it. And like it's like there's no such thing as perfect, but practice makes more perfect. Not perfect, perfect, but you know what I mean. Because we're not perfect. We may think we are, but we're not. And that's okay. When people think, well, you have to be perfect at this, or like it's got to be done this way, or it's the wrong way. Well, how is it the wrong way if you are coming to the same conclusion or you are producing the same product? How is it wrong? Just because you've done it differently, you've still produced the same thing. Maybe your way was easier. Maybe theirs was easier. You just took a different route to do it. Some people say, well, productivity. Well, productivity all leads to the greed. More product, more money. More advertising, more programming. I'm on my journey and I'm still figuring it out. And I feel just as rushed as I feel that I'm rushing others. And a lot of us are doing that right now because we want people to wake up. Like, we've already lived it. Okay. Hence deja vu. Okay. Like, I watch Ireland Clark. She's a great teacher because she's been teaching our galactic history. She's been very brave and independent and going out to different places and feeling the energy to transmute it to like spread her light, her love, like her cheery self. I've met people like me, they're telepathic, they're on their journey, they know what I'm talking about, and I speak the universal light language to them, and they just like they love it. It's part about being authentic, and I'm being authentic. And I know some are completely awake. But some of these people that are awake, they also say that everybody has to wake up in divine timing. I know that I'm not weak, and I know that I don't have junk DNA. And I'm looking forward to this great solar flash very much. But I know how painful it can be, and people need to be awake for it. I've like I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for all or like, Oh, wow. Because I know some of you have probably experienced it yourself. I told you, and I don't know how. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I hollered for God and I got a freaking light in the head. Whether I seen the full or solar flash hit or felt it hit at that time, but I'm just going with the flow. Sometimes it feels like I do like fight it because yes, change is hard. And I've heard other people say about how hard change is. So when we say change is hard for ourselves, then we got to remember, I got to remember that change is hard for other people. Someone said about God is coming. Well, when I told them that God is here, they were like, no, how do you know? Because look at what's happening. God is here. They said about Revelations. Yeah. Some say about the 144,000. Some think it's a number of people or a number of certain people in a tribe or what have you. But and I believe it's a band of frequencies. We are all chosen, and we're all welcome in the kingdom of heaven because God loves every one of us. Some of us may get there later than others. But as I was told, we're on a soul journey. And I believe that. I feel a lot of pain in my heart. I wake up usually between 2 and 4 in the morning. And sometimes, most of the time, I'm full of panic and anxiety, and I don't know why. And then I'm told by my mother, who is part of my soul family, breathe, Tara. Sometimes I curl up in the fetal position. Sometimes I lay there and I just spread my arms open. It's like in the diaphragm, and it is. Sometimes it's like having a baby. Sometimes I go, sometimes I scream. But I know that a lot of you can relate to that. The ones that are waking up. Like I said, I'm finding more and more people that are like me. They're my soul family. Like I'm finding out that people that I've already been around are soul family and they're connected to me and I can feel excuse me, I can feel it because I want to be around them. We've been separated from our family and now it's time to come back to family. We've been fighting for a very long time. And yes, somebody said today that it was like men and women were in competition with each other, which we shouldn't be in competition with either. But we get put in a program where we're put against each other. Ugh. Okay, and I see that. Well, I got the better job. Well, why not work together? We shouldn't be working like we do. We need to be with our families and our kids instead of letting other people raise our kids. Some of you say, oh, well, I need the money to live. Okay. We need to ask ourselves, we need the money to live. Are we living above our means? I know back years ago, like families were able to, they had big families and they all worked together and they were able to provide. Now, it's like people are workaholics and they don't have time for family or even their kids. Why are we having kids if we don't have time for them? I'm not saying don't have kids, but I'm saying have kids because you have time for them. Our kids are our future. The song of Whitney Houston, greatest love of all. Children are our future. And they're being ignored. I'm not saying everyone's ignoring their children. We just need to listen to them more. I know when I was in school, I couldn't stand school. Paid no mind to it. I quit in grade 8. And then somebody said, well, go back. So I went back and, well, yeah, I had my grade 8 and I went back in grade 9 and I was like, no. And they were like, well, go back. So I went back, but then I quit. And then the next year they said, well, go back. So I went back and I said, well, okay, put me in grade 10. And then I started going to school and I was like, well, I don't want to be here. I don't see how this has anything to do with life, real life, how to survive how to live life to the fullest. So my oldest son that my parents adopted, he quit school. He went back and got his GED, but he quit school and now he's becoming, I believe, in construction or carpentry. He doesn't have it. He's going in because he knows how to do it, not because he went to school. And I'm very proud of him. My youngest son. Okay. He said, well, you made me go to school. It's like, well, that's because like I was afraid and told like if your kids don't go to school, well, they're going to come and take your kids away. Who the frick are they? Who says your kids have to learn this stuff? Why can't we teach them? Because we can. And they know that. And it's to cause fear. More and more people are taking their children out of school and homeschooling them. Okay? It's like, don't listen to this person or that person or this person or that person. Listen to you in here and your kids. Hear your kids. It's like our kids, instead of sitting in front of a TV screen or a computer or sitting here with the telephone, because they do it even when they're sitting next to each other instead of like communicating. they'll communicate over a phone. And it makes me cry. Because when they do that, they become very reserved and angry. They end up with anxiety disorders because when it comes to being around other people, it's harder. A lot of them are indigos and telepaths, yes, indigos and empaths. I know someone who has a son, and right now he's having a very, very difficult time. I've told this person what their child is experiencing. They're having a hard time being in crowds, and the reason why they're having a hard time being in crowds is because they're feeling all of the mixed energies. And they're having a hard time with it because they're very sensitive. And sensitive ain't a bad thing. It's just know that you know something just ain't right. Right? I see a lot of people that are making changes for the better. Like I said, some are slower than others. But as a wise man keeps telling me, everything happens in divine timing. And I know sometimes that when you start pushing and pushing and pushing people, what ends up happening is you end up pushing them the wrong way or the opposite direction. I know that we have to let them get there on their own. And a lot of us have to realize that. And see, when I do my videos, okay, it's not an ego thing. It's because I've said that it's easier to give advice than it is to take your own. Okay, and that is true. It's easier to give advice than to take your own. Because no one, in a lot of aspects, when they're trying to help others, do they see what they're saying themselves? Because we're mirror images. We can give advice, but we can't take our own. So the reason why I say that is because when I do my videos, after I'm done, I go back and I watch them. And the reason why I do that is to find out, okay, what did I say? I hear myself saying it. But am I listening to what I'm saying? Am I understanding myself? That's why they say look in a mirror and do affirmations. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Well, you don't have to tell, you know you're beautiful. And it doesn't matter how you look or what that person next to you thinks of how you look. Because maybe they're just full of ego or they don't like how they look themselves, so they have to throw shade on you. I said before, I comedians that make fun of people. People say, oh, well, you gotta lighten up. It's like, well, if you want to make fun of someone, make fun of your own impairments, your own disabilities, your own flaws. Don't make your jokes at the expense of someone else. Okay? I don't like them. But some say, "Oh, well, lighten up." Well, it's not a matter of lighten up. If you're making fun of someone because they have a speech impediment, what's your freaking problem? Right? Right. I've looked at people before, and that was because I had a problem with myself. So when we have a problem with ourselves to make ourselves feel better, it's like we make other people feel bad. But where's the right in that? It's not. And when you think it is, you really need to go within and see. I'm not a victim. Used to think I was a victim. And some will, it's like, will do things, and then because for every action there's a reaction. So when we do something and someone reacts to it and it's not in the way that we want, well, we say we're the victim. Wait a minute. How are you the victim because you did this to someone and they just friggin' stood up for themselves? You ain't no victim. I know that, like, they say what goes around comes around because we're mirrors of ourselves. And we throw out what we think of ourselves a lot of the time, only we don't want to face that truth because the truth hurts and the truth can be very ugly. So we need to think less of the money, because I know, like, I have a few nice things. Like, most of my stuff is secondhand. The only thing that I have brand new is a couch that I bought the other day. Well, I got to pay someone back for it. Got a couch. So it's actually not mine right now. I guess you could say it's on loaner. But I have a new couch in my place. Okay, it's more of me. Earthy. And I bought a $60 coffee table because from 2013 to just a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I was using a fire pit as my coffee table. Okay, I got a TV that's not really mine. It's kind of on loaner. But everything else that I have was secondhand. I bought it at thrift stores. Um, Once in a blue moon, I'll buy something new. And I know that some people, they're going out and they're buying the newest version of electronics because, oh, got to keep up with the times. Got to keep up with the best equipment. I am sitting in front of that. That is, some of them do it for this, okay? I'm sitting in front of my computer. I have no microphone. The quality is probably, but you know what? That's okay because I'm not trying to be a movie star. I don't need to be popular. I just want to help people. And I have been helping people. I've had people throw shade on me because of speaking in a different language that they say, well, we don't understand. But more and more people in my family, they're liking it or they're just getting used to it. They don't tell me, will you stop talking like that anymore? Like, I mean, they said, they don't say, will you stop talking like that? They don't say it anymore. They actually kind of laugh and smile. Because like, that's get mo to kria, ala shkole, o kria mo to kria skre e krian toy. Kile a to rip skre, kiamana mukiti ai shkol e su skre kititui e priaska in the kria ta ni kititiala. Quick. Okay, that's been new the past 2 or 3 months. Okay, it's part of the DNA activations. I'm coming online and it's like just some they're saying wake up. I'm awake, but it's like wait a minute. We keep saying wake up, wake up. Well, I know that I have a lot of energy coming in. Okay. Okay. That's the energy. I have lots of it. Okay. They said we're like nuclear. Okay. And it's like, okay, well, I know there's times like I stand in my house and it's like, oh, and right there, I could hear my voice bouncing off of like any little, like I have, it's sort of a light metal. Okay. It's a rocking chair, one of the outdoors ones, you know what I'm talking about. And I have a wood stove and the pipes, and I can actually hear the frequency come from it because of the pitch. There's power within you, and it's a song, it's dance, it's laughing, it's love. And if you're not around me, then you don't so much know. Like, okay, maybe it's like we're right now, okay? A lot of people are having trouble finding a home, finding homes. It's not so much that places aren't available. It's because they can't afford them. Our government says, well, oh, we're going to bring in this low income housing stuff. They're doing infrastructure, and a person can't afford a home. They got family. It's like you got to have an income to have a home, or you're living on the streets. Some people, they in ways, some have chose to do that because they want nothing to do with the matrix. They want nothing to do with the corporate greed. They want nothing to do with the ignorance. But yes, some of them are stealing to survive. Is stealing right? No. They're putting their hands out for help. Well, wait a minute. We got these big fucking hospitals where our government is supposed to be paying the fees, but we got these hospitals selling tickets to raise money. Why is that? We got these places. They're trying to raise money for cancer. Back in the 80s, as I stated before, they already had a cure for cancer. It was on the CTV news. They had the cure for cancer, but because Big Pharma wasn't going to make money off it. It never come out. And it got hidden. How many of your family members have died from cancer? Could have been prevented, right? There are cures for everything out there, but we're told that there's not. Oh, we're still looking, so keep giving us money, so we can put it in our pocket and we can keep you like, oh, my family's dying because of cancer. They shouldn't be dying. Okay, I lost 1, 2, 3. 3 immediate family members. A father-in-law. A friend, a cousin had it. My sister-in-law had it. Those 2 survived. But after a lot of frickin' torture. How is that right? How is that just? When are we going to see that these are the things that we need to look at? I see a world full of cures. And I see people healing physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually because they've been harmed for personal gain, for ignorance, for greed, for control. I look around and it's like, well, okay, I don't see myself in the Matrix. I don't watch TV. I can't stand having the TV on. Sometimes I put something on TV and I listen to it and it's like, I don't want it. I watch things about ancient aliens and our ancestors because they're our ancestors and we're helping our ancestors now. Because we are all our ancestors. You ever had the dreams that you're seeing the same people in the dreams and different things are happening? It's because, okay, sorry. Think of, okay, a lot of you, especially women, have probably watched the series The Old Charmed with Alyssa Milano and Rose, whatever, or whoever they are. I don't know because I don't follow these things. Okay? I just know the characters' names. But in one of the episodes, Phoebe was taken back in time. And she's seen her sisters there. Only her sisters weren't her sisters. Her sisters were her cousins. See, we all come back because we're here to make things right. We're here to work together and resolve our differences, to stop fighting. But we're divided. Instead of being together, we're like this, and we're coming together like this. So they keep throwing things in the middle to try to distract us. We keep coming together, and then it's like, but then we get closer and closer. So when we get closer and closer, the fear tactics that didn't work at that time, they put it back. It's like, we're going. Okay? So I had somebody call me the other day or something like that, because I'm letting my hair grow up, as you all can tell, and I have like the don't know why, but it grows right here for the most part. And I've had a few people tell me, well, if my hair would grow in like that color, then I just let it grow. So I want to get it all done one color, but like it's got to be with natural products or not at all, because I ain't putting the chemicals. I use natural products now, because I don't want the metals and the chemicals and stuff in my body. As I said, I'm eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. One day I had a piece of cherry tart type thing, and I kind of binged on that, and that was sugar, and it was like it didn't sit too bad, but it was just like, okay, because I bought a chocolate cake at the same time, and I took a couple bites off the chocolate cake, and it was like, whoa. It's like, I don't want other people eating sweets, but I mean, they got to do that on their own. So I gave it to someone, not kids, adults. They can make the choice. Kids, none of us need the sugar, but kids really don't need it. I was going to ask the question, like, is there such thing as eating too much fruit? Because I eat a lot of fruit, more so than anything else. I know that, like, it's like groceries can be expensive, and I've been, because I'll eat Mr. Noodles. Okay, I don't like eat a lot of. I don't eat processed foods or anything like that. It's vegetables, fruits, fish, sometimes eggs. The other day I kind of binged on some eggs, but kind of like protein. But I do need a lot of it, and I've like it. Sometimes I get the craving for something, and it's like, no, I'll go take a piece of fruit instead. I eat nuts. Um, I'm clearing my pineal gland, and I know that I have abilities, and I practice them. There was like my ability, like I got, well, it was like something was hurting my kid, because my cat, and I had said it in one of my other videos, it was like I was on a different dimension, and something had my cat. Well, to me, my cat was my kid. And when I was screaming for help, I could literally feel shaking. I could feel the power, because we have power in our voice. And I could feel the power. That's why I went, oh, and you can hear the from the stuff in the background. It's like, people who can do a high enough frequency that they break a glass. And I like doing that because it gets things like kind of the throat chakra moving. And if you're not connected to me and you're not watching my videos, then how do you really know what I'm doing or what I've been doing? I don't come on all the time. I come on when I feel I'm being directed to. Me korai kuskiana teila löketoe maja keseta leshalana kuotajaina siellä koella boikareja. It's kind of, I was starting a video called Mystical Healing. I was writing light codes and speaking. And now the, signing. But I can't make people watch my videos. I'm not looking for the likes. If I'm being truthful, I don't even go see if there's any likes or comments for the most part. I do go sometimes and look to see if there's been any views. But I know that, if people want to hear what I have to say, then they'll watch. I guess you could say I do feel like I have a lot of information, positive stuff, because I have been through it and I'm still going through it. And it is not easy. As you can see, sometimes my body kind of jolts like that. That's a shift. Iskren, ketulea lepre, mikrian voskriata, eskolea modokriata teieske, kitoi, le clemana kriam, bictota priaskriato, kalena noniata kriata. I love me. And the ego sometimes gets in the way and tries to tell me, well, you're weak, but I know I'm not. And until God takes me, I'm going to keep going. And I know you all can do the same. As I said, it is hard. But do go within. Find you. Because home is where the heart is. And the heart is here. Don't hurt other people to get what you want. Once you love yourself, you'll fully know what it's like to love the world and feel. And then you'll be ready to help others and not begrudge them of your help because you feel like you should be getting something in return. Yeah, it's should be an even trade, but because arc means act of random kindness. Do it because you want to and because you feel it's right, not because you want recognition for it. Show love and compassion and understanding, not hate, greed, and ignorance. Preska tataina chakere. Que tataina mane creando tu eskai. E kolashkala mo tu kriaskara. Kitian. E kotala. Kinoma. Mi creai tu reskala e kuriam. Periodo toreskana. Te krian tu sklai. E kototo prigare. Yeah, I'm crying. Oh. So it's okay because it's part of the process. Because as you talk to yourself or the collective or what have you, you get it out. And if people are thinking you're talking to yourself, well, that's let them. Because it don't matter what they think. It only matters that you're your authentic self that God put you here for. Because some say that when people talk about God and what have you, people think, well, you're fucking retarded. Why are they retarded? Because they believe in something? Well, you believe in something. Does that make you fucking retarded? No. In all honesty, the language that I speak, I actually like speaking that more than I like English. Because when I'm speaking that language, I am completely my higher self. And sometimes I do speak in frustration in that language because it is my native language. English is not my first language. Babies speak gibberish. Who are you to say that they're not speaking a language? Because they are. We're taught to speak different languages. We come out speaking the original language. But we're taught how to speak the language that other people know because they don't understand something different. Because it takes patience to understand something different. But be open because I'm not saying what you think is wrong and you can't say what I think is wrong. Because I'm not you. And I don't know your background. I don't know your authentic lineage, your starseed lineage. Because I know a lot of, like they say, Jesus, Son of God, his and I don't agree with some of the verses now as I think of it, like our Father thou art in heaven, how will be thy name, the kingdom come, thy will be done on the earth as in heaven. Give us this day. Oh wait, forgive. That one. But like John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only forgotten son or begotten son. Okay. Jesus Christ was not God's only son because we're all God's children. Okay. He gave us all life. He gave us life. The spark of life. Had someone, and it's true. We are stardust, hence ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We go, and that's another thing. In America, like the States and Canada, they're really the only ones that have the thing of embalming. But think of when they find bodies, okay, and they say that they got to wear all these suits and everything like that because of the decay process. Well, if that's happening and it's toxic, then ain't it toxic going into our ground and all that stuff going in and getting into our wells? And it's all about money. I just, like, when I pass, I just want to be cremated. My body, well, I mean, my consciousness is going to go on, and I don't plan on dying anytime soon. But my body to be cremated, put back to dust, put in a plastic bag, and taken to where I have a tree growing that I call my tree of life, because trees represent life and growth, and have my ashes buried in there so it goes back to the ground and I don't have the decaying process and I don't have these chemicals in my body because, oh, the body wants to last longer. Well, why does the body have to last longer? Right? I don't want people standing over my body because I'm not there. That's just a shell. Don't see me as I'm dead. See me as life. Full of life, vibrant. I miss all my family. But we're made, it's our choice whether we feel this way, but we're programmed to thinking that we need to feel mourning all the time. And then they put these things on about, oh, it's the anniversary of this death and that death. Why are you keep reminding us? Because it keeps you in a low vibration. They don't want you forgetting. But the thing is, we don't forget, we just move on from it. But then a year later, they remind us again. So you got a cut, you got stitches, they keep splitting the stitches open, saying, no, you're not allowed to heal. We can't let you heal because then we can't get you buying this and buying that. Sunscreen, don't put it on. They say it's good for you, but it's not. Look at it. Look what it got in it. The advertising is what programmed you. The sun is what heals you. I have someone who throws shade on me because sometimes I do have to put my glass on because I got my good days and got my bad days. But I can sit in the car and I can see fine. And before, like, everything was blurry to me. But I stare at the sun quite a bit, and I lock onto that sun, and I just suck the sunlight in. And if I have trouble keeping my eyes open, I go like that. It kind of, at first, like, because you're getting used to the light, it feels like it's like your eyes want to close, and you do see a few colors, but when you refocus, it's clearer. And as days go by, and as time goes by, my vision comes back more and more. I'm more and more healthy every day. I need to get my ass out and walk more again. I've been slacking idle, and I'm being honest. Today, we took freaking garbage to the the dump. And they asked us, would you get any black bags in there? And the person I was with, they said no. Well, they didn't remember or see them or what have you. And we got there, and it was like, well, we got the black bags. Oh, well, shit. That's what it was like. So we threw the black bags in there. And then I realized, like, wait a minute. Like, so I swallowed my pride, and I didn't care. I hopped in that dumpster, and I hauled those bags right back out of there. And then we went and told them. But they said you had to take them home and put them in clear bags, which I like. It's almost like it's like, well, we want to know what you got in your garbage, because stuff you put in, you're allowed one black bag, but the rest of it's got to go in the clear bag. But the black bag can only go out to the side of the road. You can't take it directly to the dump. Whatever you take to the dump has to be in a clear blue or white bag. Okay, so if they're recycling and they're separating the garbage like they say they are, well, my thoughts are, well, why are you doing that? But it was like, okay. Some would say, well, why did you take it back out? I took it back out because if they are recycling, then I have respect for the people. Not respect for a control. Respect for other people. I was told by someone else that our garbage all goes in the same place anyways. Some Sarah food goes for composting. Well, hey, think of it this way. If our stuff goes for composting and then we got to pay for that composting, why don't we just keep the compost ourselves and compost it and use it ourselves instead of having to go pay for our own compost? Because we've already paid for it. Crap. Skine täällä skine koita mairke. Tikula kria moite kriaska totoja krie. Kippi totoja skome ananaska koita mikä toita eska euli ei. Tikula krie. Kiama kria. Eskera totale botukane menkari. Whoa, okay. Yo, kriaska no maniana krie. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm having, it's like, the energy's slowing down. Yeah. Okay. I was in the tub earlier today, and I was laying there, and I was splashing water on my face, and I stood up, and you can, like, your body gets locked with the energy, and that's why you get pain and stagnant. And I know, like, when you feel if you feel pain, well, and I do it myself. If I feel like say I stub my toe and it hurts really bad, I just say, okay, I got no pain, got no pain, got no pain, and I put my mind elsewhere, and the pain goes away. It's where we focus. If we feel that we have something and we ponder on it and ponder on it and ponder on it, it's not going to move. It just becomes worse. Oh my God. Kita neskina neskala kuriga to kuriga barkar kino mikita to peri apti kiskiri to kure kuluke de kure kara yakada eska en koiska kitu to peri mane kriya mane eko eto pure kita to peri mane skira amiga da oskala to kuriga no kuriga to kare pata kare ata kare onku kesia ana sena ana eskana and kure pane ana kare kare kai kutu to eskala mo kare kare skira ta ta itu kunum mikirimo miskola me am kure pari kai pikrovi. Okay, I just had like a sharp pain in my heart. It's like right in there. Like something just jabbed me right between my rib. But that's okay because I'm going to keep going. Teshkala. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I know that I've kind of been all over the place, and I've been saying, like, don't feel or say that somebody is not doing nothing when you can't see. Or, and I have to remember too, we're all going at our own pace, and for some, it may not be happening fast enough. And I try not to make plans because plans don't always turn out. And that's where we go with the flow. And this person has told me before, and I believe it, God does not make plans, it just happens. So I am very grateful for my soul family, for my earth family, for my ancestors, my guardian angels, my archangels, my sons, my daughters, my brothers, my sisters. I'm very thankful for you all. My mothers, my fathers that I've had throughout my lifetimes. And we've planned them all. And everything wasn't always unicorns and rainbows, and that's okay. Because we weren't here for everything to be perfect. We were here to learn life's lessons and growth. And they say everything happens for a reason. And I do believe that everything does happen in divine timing, and things with me are happening. And I'm going to keep speaking my truth. I'm going to keep doing things the way that I'm doing them. And if people don't like it, I can't help that. I love them no matter how they are or how fast they're coming. And patience is a virtue. And good things are coming. Good things are already here. We just don't see them yet because we're blinded. But the light is lighting things up and helping us to see our way through. So I thank Mother, Father, God for creating me, for giving me this opportunity to be here with everyone. I may not like everything that's going on, but I can do my part. Sending you all, anyone and everyone that wants to accept my love, the light, the blessings, and most importantly, very good health. Because you are healing, some faster than others. But you are healing. And I want you all to know that. Because I know I'm healing. And like I said before, if it wasn't for all of you, standing up and speaking out and helping me to change and transform and grow, beautiful things are happening, and we need to stop focusing on the crap on TV and go outside and see it for real. Recognize the rock, which reminds me, yesterday I picked a whole bunch of rocks. I went around, ding, 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 just like a little kid. Nothing wrong with being a kid sometimes. Gotta get skinny, right? Right. So I'm sending you all many kisses, many hugs. And I know that we all got this. Deleskiran. Love you, everyone. Have a great evening. And stay true to yourself.